kids, I'm Guru, and today I'll be teaching you how to implement scrolling effects. A lot of the times we have games or animations where we want a background or the screens to change. And let's say we are building a car racing game and you want to go from one road to another. So we do that by using multiple sprites. That's one easy way. So let's build like a road, and I will go into paint, and first I will let's just create a background to make the game interesting. And in this case, let's pick a color that is between black and a little bit grayish. Yeah, I like this one is better. Yeah, good. So now we got a background, and then what I want to do is just draw a divider in the middle, but not like a uniform divider. So there are different ways of doing it. Let me just do something like we pick white, and let's see if we can draw something like this. Yeah, this is a nice divider. So now I can highlight it, and then I can copy and paste like this. Copy and paste. So this is a nice road divider in the middle, and as I'm drawing it on the right side, you can see the lines are coming through. So this looks like a road. It looks like a road in the night time. We got nice dividers in the middle. Now the reason why I want to show you a scrolling effect is you will have to build things where there are a lot of backgrounds and they're changing. Maybe trees are coming on the side, and maybe there are buildings on the side and so on. So now, just to distinguish between our two sprites, because we want to build a scrolling effect, I will go to sprite 2, just copy the whole thing, and then maybe I can highlight these and change the color. This would be a good way for you to understand how the things are working. So now we got a sprite in which maybe only two of the dividers are sort of different colors, and then now we've got two sprites, sprite 1 and sprite 2. Good. Now you will see that on the screen, both of them are on the screen, right? Both of them are above one another. So this is the concept of layers. You have layer 1 and layer 2 on the screen, and you can move them between you can say this layer go back or this layer come to the front, and that also helps us. Now what do? We have to write code so that when we start our program, these screens start moving. We want our let's have something here like a car or something. Let's see if we can put a car. Yeah, let's put convertible, and I want to not put like this, it should be going up. So we should say, well, why don't you look up? Ooh, that is not the best, but at least we make it very small so that, ooh, that's too small, so that you get an idea. What did I do? Oh, I wanted to change the size a little bit, but it changed a lot. Now look, this is not the best car, because we should be having a top view of the car, but this is okay for now. So in sprite 1, what do? We say when the program starts, we want to go to a certain place, and then we want to move the background. So as always, when the flag is clicked, right, this is the way we start our programs, and this is the way we do things. First is, I really want you to understand the concept of layers. So we could go and say go to some layer, right? So now this means come to the front, and then we want to go to a certain point, right? So like we have one screen that's coming down, and the other screen also needs to come down slowly so that it feels like the screens are moving, or the car is moving. Even though the car is static, it's the road that's moving. So we will do a forever loop. And in the forever loop, forever is computer control, and in forever, because we want our background to move down, we will change the Y position. But first we should always put our sprite somewhere on the screen. So I would say go to a certain location. And in this case, let's just do this. Let's just say, well, why don't you go to the middle of the screen? And then maybe this comes down, and then the second sprite, which is hidden, will slowly come down, and we will start it at a place which is higher than the screen. And then we simply say, well, we want to move a little bit down, so we can say change Y, and because we want to move down, we say -10. Now, one thing is important, which is what happens when this whole screen comes below our starting point or below this view output window. Then we want it to come back to the top. And when we want it to come back to the top, we can just use an if block. So we can put a condition. We can say if the Y location. So how do we put the condition? We will say if the Y position goes beyond a certain point, which is below our screen. So what is the Y location? X and Y location are always available in motion. And now what is the bottom of the screen? Well, in this case, you have to do some calculations. But what we're doing is we are saying, look, when this whole screen comes down, because the center point of the screen is 0, 0, and this screen is let's say Y is 140, 140. So when it goes completely beyond the screen, so 280, in this case we just picked -300, we want it to come back to the top. And it's like you are putting the card back on the top, you're putting the card back on the top. So we will just set the Y position, or we would say, you know what, once you go down a lot, you want to come back to a certain position, and that certain position in our case would be top of the screen. So this is something that would take care of the top of the screen. Now if I click on it, what you will see is only the one screen is moving, the other screen is static, right? Now if we put it on top of it and then we run it again, you will see that there is a little bit of scroll effect. With the second screen, we haven't done anything. So now we need to write code for the second screen. So I would just copy the code and I would go to sprite 2 and I would paste it. And now, because I wanted the other layers in the front, I would move this to the back layer. So we would say, go to the back layer in looks, go to the back layer. And then in the forever loop, first thing is, where does it start from? This doesn't start from 0, 0. This should start from the top of the screen. So we move it to 300. And then again, the code stays the same, which is when it comes to the bottom of the screen, we should move it. Okay, now the car, okay, let's stop this first. And the car, we just want it to be on the front layer in a way, or at least be visible. So we say when the flag is clicked, looks, can you please come forward? Let's see what happens now. Nice. So now what is happening is you will see that even though the transition is not smooth and we can fix it, it looks like there are two screens on the two backgrounds. So there is a white background sprite and then there is a red-ish background sprite. So now we need to make them uniform. How do we make that? First, I think there is a little bit of alignment problem. So we need it to be straight line. And then there is this issue of the lines blurring, right? There is a corner issue. So how do we fix the corner issue? Well, let's go to the costumes and see if we can extend the screen. Yeah, like this. So what happens when you extend the screen is, now it will not be only covering the output, it will go beyond that. And what we want is, oops, see, there is one issue happening right now, which is the car is visible only one frame and then it disappears. So maybe we need to go into this guy and say forever, because you don't want it to go to the front layer just once. We want it to be in the front all the time. And let's try it now. Yeah, see, the car is always there and it feels like the car is driving on the road, even though it's the road that's moving. There are some glitches, like, you know, the when we have these two intersect, it's not looking great, but that's just an artifact of the paint we have done. If we make the corners less blurry or smooth color, then it'll look perfect. So you at least got an idea of how scrolling is implemented by having multiple sprites that can move on the screen. Try to play with horizontal scrolls, like have a person go to the corner and then have the next sprite show up. I hope you got the idea. This is used extensively in games and animations. Good luck. Bye-bye.